Next contest between boxers from Serbia and Germany.
In the red corner, representing Serbia, Veletic. In the blue,
so there is 28-year-old Dusan Veletic.
Tiafack, Nelvie.
His opponent is 25-year-old Nelvie Tiafack of Germany.
Judge 1, Lithuania. Judge 2, Iran.
Scoring judges
Canada. Judge
from Lithuania, Iran, Canada, Latvia and Chinese Taipei. The 10-point must system in effect. Our referee is Mr. Alisher Altayev of Kazakhstan. We take a look at the previous results of Tiafack. Unanimous point decision victories all the way. Tough opening in a round of 64 against India's Narendra. As for Veletic, beating the experienced Colombian in a round of 64. Points victories thereafter, unanimous and a 4-1 split in the round of 16. So we're underway then. This action in the 92-kilogram plus division, formerly known as super heavyweight, is between boxers from Serbia and Germany. The man wearing red is Dusan Veletic, 28 years of age, 10-fight professional, 8 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, made his professional debut in May of 15. His last fight was in October of last year, currently on a 3-fight winning streak after retiring in the 7th round of a contest scheduled for 10 against Jose Larde, the Cuban based in Germany, in February of 2022. His opponent, wearing blue, just fainting on the edge of range, is the hulking figure of Nelvie Tiafack. Super heavyweights don't have to weigh in, of course. I think this man weighs over 120 kilos, 1.93 meters tall, giant of a man, but as you can see, comparatively light on his feet, just fainting on the edge of range before reaching in with a stab jab, but picked off by a counter corkscrew left as Veletic got on the back foot.
And Veletic's just trying to gauge his man here. He's just sitting back, waiting to counter his man in blue. Very cagey start to this first round.
Tiafack, the 2022 European champion at super heavyweight. It's his second attempt to qualify. Nice counter right hand from Tiafack. It's his second attempt to qualify for the Olympic Games as Veletic digging away to the body. Now Veletic, having spent the majority of the opening round on the back foot, looking to push Tiafack backwards, and he sprung out of the neutral corner with a left and an overhand right. And look at the reddening around the hairline of Veletic. Counter right hand, left hook on the inside. And now the bomb's beginning to fly in this 92-kilogram plus encounter. By going on to the front foot, is Veletic playing into the wheelhouse of the hulking German boxer wearing blue. Just skitting across the ropes, but there's a right hand followed by a low blow with the right hand from Veletic. And this one has exploded into life beyond the 2-minute mark of this opening round.
I thought it was a dangerous move for the man in red going forward with his hands down, especially at such a heavyweight division. You know, one punch can really change the fight here.
Beautiful right cross to the body from Tiafack, checking the man's chest plate. And now the half-cover guard being adopted by Tiafack as he's just edging back towards the ropes. Keeping the movement going laterally, comes off the ropes with a 1-2. Veletic looking to dominate center ring, hands down contemptuously as though the outcome isn't in any doubt. But Tiafack might have something to say about that. Reaches for a jab, but he's inaccurate. Oh, the left-right could have been countered by a left hook because he was inaccurate, Tiafack, because he didn't take his feet with him. Good opening round of boxing. My goodness. How many ways did that evolve and metamorphose? It is a 3-2 split in favor of Veletic. Had it been 3-2 the other way, I don't think there could have been many complaints. An incredibly tight round of boxing where we saw each man adopting different postures over the course of the first 3-minute frame.
Yeah, both men having really good success. In this round. It's shaping up to be a fiery second round. Really liked Both men are letting the hands go and not holding anything back.
So into the second round then, this 92-kilogram plus contest. Man wearing red, a 10-fight professional, Dusan Veletic of Serbia, took the first round on a 3-2 split. And it was so many incident-filled passages in the opening round. First, Veletic was on the back foot, then he got onto the front foot. Some explosive combinations landed by both boxers, and that's what they're looking to unload here. Good work to the body and then left hook to the head by Veletic, but then a counter right hook off the ropes from Tiafack. So the boxers keeping their eyes locked on one another. First saw Tiafack. Oh, that's a cracking right cross from Tiafack, catching Veletic on the end of it, and then more hook success. But we have got a dislodged mouthpiece up there in the boxing ring. It is being punched out of the mouth of Veletic because of the cracking punch picking utilized by Tiafack. Now the referee will make a gesture, that's one time. If the mouthpiece comes out on 2 more occasions, it will result in a point deduction against Veletic. Good right hand to the body from Tiafack, who is playing front foot stalker once again, as Veletic being forced onto the back foot, and he's tagged cleanly by a right cross, by a chin that was wide open because his hands were around his chest, and his chin was up in the air.
I do feel that the man in red really needs to get his hands up here. He's getting caught with shots that could easily be blocked if his guard was up.
Again, he's keeping those hands down in contemptuous fashion, trying to bring in punches from out of the eye line. Here's a beautifully picked right hand lead from him, not set up with the jab. But remember, water dripping on a rock will crack it if it's hit often enough. And at super heavyweight, it won't take many shots at all. And again, as another right cross, reverse 1-2, the backhand first, then the jab landing from Tiafack. I'm suggesting that Tiafack as he comes forward, the right hand left hook, but they're inaccurate, and there's a cut to the hairline of Veletic. Has the referee seen that? If there's any, obviously no good place to get a cut, but it isn't in a bad place, because if the blood is flowing from that region, it's unlikely to go into the eye and obscure the vision of Veletic, but that is another problem that he simply doesn't need.
I really think Veletic needs to get his hands up and get back to his boxing here. He's being outworked by his man in blue.
The jab to the body from Tiafack. Staying nice and relaxed. Left hook on the inside. And again, another left hook from Tiafack. Veletic enjoying success during that trade-off as well. And again, Veletic just trying to give the impression that he's in charge. Nice head movement in the pocket from Veletic. And now the referee is calling for the doctor. Let's keep an eye on the referee. Hasn't made the gesture yet, but we spotted that cut to the hairline, and there you see the knuckles bumped together. This injury has been caused, or I suspect reopened. Good work to the body from Veletic by an accidental clash of heads. And why that's significant is because if this injury causes the bout to be stopped, then we will go to the scorecards. Veletic took the first on a 3-2 split. As the 10-second clapper sounds, I think he's been outboxed in this second round. Tiafack has landed some really heavy right crosses. Oh, which bell was that? Confused me for a minute. The bell sounding almost simultaneously. Thankfully, nobody landed a free shot, because in this division, it could be terminal. Now, I think Tiafack won that second round. What say the judges? So Tiafack leading 20 points to 19, 20 points to 18 for 2 judges. Veletic taking the second round for judge number 2, which I do find surprising. 2 scores tied at 19 points apiece for judges 4 and 5. So what that means is it all comes down to the final round. Veletic has got to convince both judges 4 and 5 that he's the better boxer in the third, and he would win on a 3-2 split. Tiafack needs to convince only one of judges 4 and 5 that he's the better boxer, and he will emerge on a 3-2 split. That's how tight it is, and it's all come down to the final frame.
It really has. It's all come down to the final round. The man in blue has got the right tactics here. He's keeping working, hasn't stopped. And I think it's all down. The man in red has really got to pull his finger out here if he wants to change these judges' minds.
Then to the third and final round, it's an overhand right lands once again from Tiafack. The boxer's trying to work away on the inside, but the referee is going to have to intervene and separate them beyond punching distance. It's Veletic who is spoken to about excessive holding. First saw Nelvie Tiafack when I was ringside in St. Petersburg as he lands an arcing right hook during that trade-off, and then another overhand right catches Veletic on the temple. Those shots can scramble equilibrium, but there's a corkscrew left hand from Veletic, landed with the left. He readjusted his mouthpiece with the right so that it didn't come out. Remember, it's been dislodged once already. And I was ringside in St. Petersburg as Tiafack looking for the right hand once again. Good movement from Veletic to take something off it. In those 2016 World Youth Championships where he came away with a bronze, where I was commentating ringside, he was this big then. As he landed a right hand to the body, then a right hand over the top after Veletic separated those scoring shots with success of his own. He's matured into a very competent elite heavyweight on the global scene. Beautiful work, and then spinning off the line from this 120-kilogram Hulk, but Veletic coming forward, roundhouse blows, catching Tiafack on the end of one of them. We're at the halfway stage of the third and final round. Right uppercut, the first shot in a combination which Tiafack kept going. Spins off the line counterclockwise once again as Veletic with his hands up, but his defense is still being penetrated, but he getting the better of this exchange. Tiafack aware of that, in search of his get back, but Veletic getting the better of that trade-off. And then he gets right back in the man's chest once again. Heel of his glove into Tiafack's face. Is Tiafack feeling the pace? Can he continue to summon up the combinations that served him so well in the second round? There he lets a cluster of punches go, but Veletic coming forwards, takes two right hands in quick succession, completely knocked off balance, and a blistering combination from Tiafack I thought would have brought about an 8 count, but the referee in optimal position, electing not to issue an 8 count. But Veletic being touched up repeatedly by some heavy leather from Tiafack in blue.
Really good from Tiafack there. Just throwing some big, heavy shots, big, heavy shots.
Well, with 30 seconds remaining, I think that cluster of success has tilted this round in Tiafack's favor, but there is still time for a boxer to produce a moment of quality or indeed devastating finality. Tiafack swinging and missing. That'll take an awful lot of energy. Veletic has his chin checked once again by a left hook. He appears to be feeling the pace more deeply than Tiafack. Both men clinging on to one another in a gentleman's agreement to gain some respite, but a single moment of a final shot could be decisive, and I think the man in blue who raises that right arm is going to be declared a victor here. But what say the judges, particularly the scorecards of judges 4 and 5, who had it all square at 19 points apiece? And the skill on display, so too the determination and desire, but in many ways that was an old school, classic, super heavyweight slugfest. And yes, I use the name advisedly. I know it is no longer in existence in weight-making sports such as boxing at the Olympic Games, but my goodness, in the third and final round, both of these men were letting the big punches fly, fighting through the fatigue in a bid to secure the Olympic quota place. I think Tiafack has done enough to be declared a split decision victor. What say the 5 judges ringside?
The winner by split decision and qualified for the Olympic Games Paris 2024 in the blue corner.
And it is Nelvie Tiafack. The German giant has just secured his Olympic quota place, having been declared a 3-1 split decision victor over Dusan Veletic of Serbia. Wonderful to see that respect between the boxers, and indeed the boxers and the opposing coaches. And again, each man gave so much energy, and these are so big and muscular that I don't think he's got the energy to celebrate any more than he's doing now. But he has secured the Olympic quota place that he's dreamed of since he's taken up the sport of boxing. And we will see him again in Paris 2024. He and his coaches absolutely delighted But my goodness, that was a lung-busting, soul-searching, energy-sapping effort produced by both boxers, and it's Nelvie Tiafack who has secured the Olympic quota place on a 3-1 split decision victory. What a contest, what an effort by both men.
Yeah, Tiafack did really well there to stay in that and maintain that high tempo over the course of 3 rounds. And this is how he did it. Here's the score.
Took the final round on a 4-1 split. Now, those are some topsy-turvy scores because judge number 4 has scored the final round for the man from Serbia, whereas judge number 2 has scored